Hi, everybody. Welcome to Talks Tamiya. I hope you are all having a good day. I'm Craig, and thank you very much for stopping by and listening to us three talk about RC again. I am joined, as always, by my very good friends and co-hosts, Mark from Mark Bryan RC. Mark, how on earth are you doing today?
Great to be here. I'm doing well, thanks, Craig. Thanks for having me.
Now, I heard you had a little visitor come see you today. You had Glenn from
He did from
Riviera RC, didn't he?
I know, what a treat. Maybe a little bit more about that later.
Well, that sounds good to me. And
Lovely to meet him.
Phil from Poor Boys RC. Phil, how are you doing, buddy?
Hello, everybody. Hello, Craig. Hello, Mark. I am doing splendid. Thanks again for having me on the show.
Well, thank you for joining me. Have you recovered from your little weekend away with all your RCs on the beach?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, that one was cut short again. That's 2 years in a row. It ended up being cut short. I bite off more than I can chew, you see. I get really excited, and I bring a lot of cars out, and then my back screams at me and says, no, you can't do all that. What do you think, an idiot? And then it gets cut short. But we always have fun, and you know, my wife she loves getting out there with me, and so yeah, we had a blast. You know, puppies chasing cars around and kicking up sand, and it was awesome. So yeah, a tough day of RCing is always going to be a good day. So no complaints here.
It looked awesome. I wanted to be on that beach ripping those cars around because it looked so much fun.
I've got to say, Phil, you're really lucky because you've got a wife that can drive an RC car. You want to see the times my wife has tried to drive an RC car. In fact, no, you don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it.
It ends in disaster. So,
Crawlers only.
No, props to you, Mrs. She's a good sport, mate.
Yeah, she is. She's the best.
And she's a good driver as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So we are going to start talking about some RC news. We had a whole bunch of stuff we didn't cover last time we started talking. We got so far, there was so much stuff that had come out of Nuremberg. We didn't get all the way through it. So we are going to start where we left off. And we're going to pick up from that list, that massive long list of RCs that we had to talk about. Now, there was one that we didn't get to talk about that everybody was asking questions about, and that was the Tamiya Mini Monte Carlo on the MO5. And there was a bunch of people that was really annoyed that we didn't get to talk about that one. So I thought we would pick that straight up and talk about that out the gate. Is anybody getting one of those?
Me? I'm getting one.
Oh.
I haven't pre-ordered it. I was talking to Glenn today, and he just went over to Tony's Tamiya parts we talked about earlier, and he's put his pre-order in, so he's definitely getting one. But as Phil said last time, I'm not a fan of pre-ordering, paying for something and having to wait for it. But as soon as it hits the shops, I will be ordering it. As I think I told you on the last podcast, I've already got the original MO1 version of that car, and it's totally trashed. I
think what Mark was saying was that it's turned into a bit of a wreck, I think is what he was going to say.
I think so. I think it wrecked so bad it just froze.
Are you thinking about getting one of those, Phil, the MO5?
I don't think so. I think, the minis are, we didn't really get that model here in North America. I shouldn't say North America, Canada anyway, where I live. So it's not a car that I see and I think, oh man, that's such a cool car. It just doesn't do it for me. And and I raced Mini back in the day, 2013 or so. I was living in Edmonton, Alberta, raced with a bunch of great guys. We raced MO5s. And as far as having that as a spec race class goes, tons of fun, but I don't do that anymore. And it's just not a car that really excites me that much. And I've owned one before, and I think I'll just let it slide this time and just spend my poor boys tokens elsewhere. What about you, buddy? You gonna get one?
I was tempted, and then I've already got an MO5 chassis. I've already got that set up as a rally chassis, and I've already got a mini body on it. So to buy another one would be a waste of my RC funds. So I think I'm going to give that a pass as well, which is unfortunate because that was the one I wanted. I saw it come out in the MBO one, and that was nice, but I really wanted the one with the rally spec, with the headlights and spotlights on the front, and that was what I wanted. If it had been on a different chassis, maybe not the MO5, might have gone for it. But yeah, but it's a bargain price, £19 here in the UK.
Is that right? Yeah, that is a good price, and that's a fun chassis. MO5 is a fun chassis. Front wheel drive, right?
It's a different chassis to drive. Yeah, I was surprised when I started driving that one. I was surprised at how much that front wheel drive and the way that it picks up and pulls the car around changes the way that you have to drive it, because you can't just sort of power around the corners with it. You have to come off the gas, turn in, and then accelerate back out. It changes your whole driving habit, which is
absolutely
interesting.
yeah.
More engaging.
We raced back in those days. We raced MO5 and MO6, and the MO6 would be rear wheel drive. And the guys running the MO6 had a much more challenging time getting around the track. This is indoor carpet, and they had a much tougher time getting around than the MO5 guys did. MO5 would always beat the MO6, which I found really interesting because front wheel drive, I think we were using million weight diff fluid at that time. This is 12, 13 years ago. But that was like the heaviest, almost like a locked front diff with a little bit of CA around the outside of the tires so you wouldn't traction roll. And that was a ticket, man. And that was a fun little car. They were quick and they were surprisingly tough. It's fun to race.
Yeah, it certainly is. They are quick, and you can put some decent power through them as well. But I don't know. You gotta know what you're doing with that chassis. If you're racing it anywhere other than carpet, if you're racing it on the tarmac, you've really got to know what you're doing with it to get the best out of it. So yeah, so not for me, but sounds like Mark's going to be getting himself one to replace that beat up one he's got. At 119 pounds, why wouldn't you? Right, let's move on from Mini Monte Carlo, and why don't you, Phil, pick one from the list that you would like to talk about next?
Well, I'm going to talk about one that I'm probably never going to get. If I did get it, I would love to. We'll see. But the Rlaarlo Lancer Evo is a car that, saw that at Nuremberg, and I believe that's going to be 1/7 scale. So, I mean, it's going to be tremendous. At that scale, you start to run into challenges in terms of like where to drive the thing.
Yeah.
Because then they're big, they're fast, they always attract people. I find that to be one of the big challenges, at least where I live, is that RC cars always attract people. They're like, hey, what the heck is that? And especially kids, and kids like to kind of chase them around and stuff on their bikes and run after them. And, you don't want to do 60 miles per hour with a 10-pound car into someone's leg. That's a guaranteed trip to the hospital. But that's my only reservation, that and cost. But just I've loved that car. It's a Lancer Evo 8, I think it is.
Yes, yeah, 7, one of the two.
7, and I don't know. I've loved that car since it came out. I drove a Mitsubishi Lancer. It was the first new car I ever bought when I was 25. And so, yeah, I've always had a kind of a soft spot in my heart for that car. And I think that's one that I would really like to see in person and get to enjoy driving.
I mean, do you think that's going to be an expensive RC, a 1/7?
Yep.
I mean, that's going to need a decent motor in it. It's going to need a decent power pack on it. It's going to have to get it moving at good speed. It's going to need some serious kit, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So I might have to sell off a couple other cars to fund that one, but that's part of the joy of the hobby, isn't it? You
Absolutely.
Move some on and get some new ones and keep it exciting and fresh.
So, Mark, we lost you for a second then, and you didn't get to finish off talking about the Monte Carlo. We'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Phil and I were talking about the Lancer Evo Rlaarlo 1/7 scale.
Oh, yeah.
And Phil likes the idea of that. Are you in the market for a 1/7 rally car, or is that too much for you?
I think it's a little bit too big for me. Mainly because of the areas that I have, access to for running my RCs. 170 is rather large, and I would imagine. I think I heard Phil saying there, where you're saying that it's going to have some kind of a decent power plant in it to get that huge weight of a car moving along. And it would be difficult in the small areas that I've got. But I do like it. Yeah. If they gave me one, I might try and run it somewhere. I'll tell you that. But
absolutely, there's going to be a lot of metal, isn't there, in that?
Yes, just loads. It's got quite a weight in it, I would imagine.
For audio listeners, we've got a big ginger tomcat that's come to say hello. This is Joey.
Who's your friend there, buddy?
This is Joey. Joey's 17 years old.
Hello, Joey.
I think he just wants a bit of love, but I'm going to have to get rid of him because he's not an RC car. Sorry about that for the audio listeners that would not have seen the great big ginger cat appear on the screen. So yeah, 1/7 scale car. I'm not going to be getting one of those. I've got nowhere to run that. It's the Orchard Raceway is not big enough for a 1/7 scale.
No way.
No. And yeah, I like the aspiration. I like the idea of it, but not for me. So going back to Mini then, Mark, you think you were about to say how much you trashed your MO1, and therefore you were going to be picking up the MO5 Monte Carlo.
Yeah, for two reasons. One, I'd love to revisit that body shell. It's a cracking body shell. It's a lovely reproduction. And I love the paintwork with the white roof and, like I say, all the spotlights that I've lost long ago. So that'd be great. I think I will keep it as a bit of a shelf queen, though. The old body I've still got, so I could put that on the chassis to give it a good thrashing. And I haven't got an MO5. So it's like two birds with one stone. So I'm looking forward to that.
We were saying when you were off air then, Mark, how that chassis handles very differently. So I think you would find that really interesting to give that a run and drive it around.
Yeah, I've got an MO3, but I think the 05 is a different beast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be putting some oil shocks on it, though, of course.
Yes.
And some bearings in it. We'll not go down that path again. Been there before.
And at a really good price at £119
Yes,
in the UK
absolutely.
As well. So how much do you think that Rlaarlo 1/7 is going to be then?
Me?
Either of you?
Ooh, I'd say $500.
Their stuff is priced really well, but once you start getting into large scale, it's almost like there's an inevitable massive jump in cost. I don't think they can produce as many units. They know they're not going to sell as many units just due to cost and shipping limitations, but how could it be less than 500 USD? I don't know.
No, me. And like you said, the shipping is a big factor once you've got that extra size and weight.
Yeah.
Because there's a limit to the size at a certain price, isn't there?
I think you're right. I think $500 sounds about right, but I think that'll be the roller at 500.
You reckon?
And I think they're, or maybe the roller will be lower, and then there'll be a high spec one that will be 650, pushing maybe 700.
Yeah, because they haven't said whether they're going to do the usual, where they do a metal version and a carbon version.
No,
and those are different, not only different prices as well, aren't they? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Going to be interesting to see, but that's going to be a big unit, big old car.
Yeah.
Right, Mark, you can pick the next one, seeing as you missed out on the chat a minute ago. So where would you like to go next?
I made some notes. Let me have a look. What about Kyosho, the KC10 crawler?
Let's do it.
And put that up against the Axial SCX10, because they're both Toyota 1/10 scale crawlers, aren't they?
I love your thinking.
What do you reckon, guys?
Which one out of the two of those then would you want to get, Mark?
Well, I did a bit of research, like I said. So the Kyosho is coming in at 340 UK pounds, and you put that up against the Axial at 405. So we're talking 50, 60 pound difference.
Yeah.
Have you looked at the specs of these crawlers, guys?
I have. Yeah.
Well, all I can say is the Axial looks like it's going to knock the socks off the Kyosho.
Absolutely. And that £50 differential is worth every penny for the Axial.
Because I think we talked about this before, the Kyosho, to get the what's it called, the dig function, where you've got that overdrive on the front, that's an optional extra. The 2-speed gearbox, optional extra. It's got kind of plastic beadlock wheels with pretty basic looking tires. Whereas the Axial comes with those super swampers, which looks like they'll stick to the ceiling. I don't know if you've seen those sticks. There's kind of a sag in them just from the weight of the truck. It's got alloy, massive oil-filled shocks, 35-turn brush motor, 40-amp ESC. Everything's waterproof. You've got portal axles, which the Kyosho hasn't got. So I'm looking at the Kyosho, and that was pretty bog basic ladder chassis, plastic. It's got a lovely body, I must say, and the detailing looks good. But other than that, everything's pretty mediocre, I think. Straight axles, no portals.
Very mediocre.
They must be really frustrated when they put that press release out with their Land Cruiser, and then all of a sudden, like, what was it, a week later, that Axial gets announced and pushed out, and it just is so much better spec. I mean, Phil, this is sort of your market space, isn't it? You like your crawlers, you like your higher end crawlers. Do you agree with Mark's synopsis on this, that Axial is a better price?
Kyosho, I think, took a pretty big swing with this release, getting into the crawler market, but it's a swing and a miss, because like they missed. It's like they're 10 years behind everybody else. Like, what is now considered standard in a lot of crawlers today Kyosho's offering as option, and they're kind of like an SCX10 version 1 spec is what they're offering here at a premium price. The only thing it's got going for it is a body. Like, that is a gorgeous body, if you ask me.
The detailing is off the scale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even the ESC, they put a Hobbywing 1060 in there, which is a great ESC, but not for a crawler at that price point. That should be a 1080. For the small price variants. The 1080 is a really great crawler ESC. The 1060 is not. The 1060 it'll get you in the door, but there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Drag brake. There's very little adjustability. It's when I saw that at Nuremberg, I thought, oh no, you guys, I expect more out of you than this. This is kind of a letdown, isn't it?
Yeah. Like you say, when you saw it, you look at the body, it looks great, and then you look underneath, and it's a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
I think to your point, Mark, as well, that the optional extras, when you add up the price of those, they're going to take it way beyond that Axial for the same money. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but
no,
I did like the look of that.
Either.
No, I did like the look of that Axial, though. That turned my head a little bit towards a decent crawler. I went, I think I could get into that. That looks a nice RC.
Well, an Axial invented the genre. Kyosho's coming in now 15 years later with like a 15-year-old spec vehicle. Axial, where was crawling before Axial? They put it on the map. Like they know what they're doing. I've owned many of them. I still own my Gladiator, SCX-10-3 Gladiator. That thing's a tank. It is just so well built. It just does everything so well. Ready to run format. Like, it just kicks butt. So, yeah, I love Kyosho. I hate to poo-poo on them, but it's time to poo-poo.
It's a tough market. It's a tough market. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And they could have come out swinging there, and unfortunately not the case. So, either of you two going to get either of those models, do you think?
I certainly wouldn't get the Kyosho. I haven't got an Axial, and it's something I aspire to at some point. But again, obviously, I'm used to my entry-level Tamiya kits at around 120, 140, 150 quid. So when you're stepping up to 400 plus, it is a big ask.
It is.
But I think honestly, from what I've seen, you do get what you pay for with the Axial. Definitely.
You get what you pay for, and I love them, but I find, even with my Axial SCX-10-3 Jeep Gladiator, I don't drive it. I rarely drive it. In fact, I haven't driven it since Axial Fest 2024. So it's been almost 2 years. It's been a year and a half. And that's because it's so good. That's why I sold my TRX4. It was so good. It was just, it kind of took a lot of the fun out of rock crawling. It did it. So now when my wife and I go rock crawling, we take out CC02s. Or we take out like a mini crawler, something that's not as capable, and you really have to think, and you really have to work and fight against the rocks and pick a good line. And whereas, overdrive and portals and super sticky tires and high clearance links, all these things are great, but they can make a terrible driver look pretty good out there.
Yeah.
And
that sounds like a challenge. That sounds like a challenge. I think I could find the weaknesses. I can assure you that.
Yeah, they're fun. They're awesome. But I find, you can have 100 Tamiyas, and they've each got their own personality, and they're all just so different and so wacky in a lot of ways and so fun. It keeps it fresh and interesting. With rock crawlers, I don't find that so much, because they all kind of do the same thing. You're kind of slow speed crawling on rocks, and I don't know. It just, I don't see the value in having multiple rock crawlers, all the same scale anyway. I mean, when you go to smaller scale ones, it's kind of neat, or larger scale, it's kind of cool, but having maybe 2 or 3, but not any more than that.
I totally get what you say, Phil, because I've been going out with those cheap mini crawlers, and as you say, they're not the best, attacking the terrain really. But the fun of it is, like you said, picking the lines, trying to work out how to get through the obstacles or over the obstacles, and it makes it a lot more interesting. So I'm totally with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So we don't rate the Kyosho, but the Axial
connection is doing me in
the business. Right, I'm going to pick next. I'm going to pick You ready for this?
Dear.
Team Associated RC10 Model 24.
What?
Yeah. Well, I'm becoming a bit of a Team Associated fan, aren't I? Well, no, I'm not getting one. I didn't say I was getting one, Phil. I said I'm going to pick it to talk about.
Okay.
I'm becoming a bit of a Team Associated fan now. Not necessarily because of everything that they put out, but I quite like the fact that they release things that are somewhat unexpected. I did not expect to see a 124 scale RC10 kit. Yeah. Now, the price is quite expensive for a 124 scale kit, but I do respect and admire the fact they've gone to the lengths of making sure that everything is scale and replicated and done. It is super expensive. I mean, I can't remember the exact price, but I want to say it's about £300. And I know if Mark was still sat there, not gone off to get a beer, I would know he'd be able to tell me exactly how much it cost. But I want to say
again.
It's somewhere in the region of £300. But in the US, $140, which does seem slightly more reasonable. However, no electronics. You got to buy all those. And the electronics, I believe, are all quite pricey because they've got to be 1/24th scale electronics to go in there.
And you can spend a lot of money on 24 scale electronics. You know, a Furia, or what's that company called? Jesus, escaped me at the moment. They make the Grasshopper combo, they call it, little brushless motor and small little ESC. It'll come to me anyway. Even that's, you know, $150, I think, US. So you're going to be in that $450 range, I think, USD, for that little RC10. That's a lot of dough. That's a lot of dough. That's more than I want to spend. And have you ever worked on a 24 scale RC car before?
Not with these hands.
Right? Exactly. That's one of the things. That's the thing, you know, if you've got, you know, great dexterity and you know, smaller hands, I suppose it's maybe not a big deal, but I tried upgrading my Low C Micro B to a brushless motor, and I stripped out the motor screws. There's an aluminum motor plate, and I'm just using no tools, just by hand, and I'm just kind of tightening and zip, and I just, you know that feeling when you feel the screw round out the hole, you know, and you know, and geez, it was effortless, and I thought, man, I can't win, and they're so small, and the screws are so tiny. So that's something, if you guys are listening and you got big mitts, or if you're in trades and you got those calloused big old hands, it's tough working on those little things. Yeah. I've got big hands. I didn't work in trades, but I've got big hands, and just a little bit of a shake, you know, just that little shake, and those little screws fall off the end of your driver, and it's infuriating. So yeah,
they'll be gone forever, won't they? It's not one that I would want to build, but I admire them for doing something different. But it got me thinking, though, wouldn't it be really cool to see other RC companies get into doing sort of scaled down versions of their historic RC cars? Could you imagine like maybe not a 1/24, maybe a 1/18th scale Grasshopper, or a 1/18th scale, or maybe a 1/24 scale Lunchbox that's fully proportionate, RC controlled? You know, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be. Even like those, you're seeing now some companies come out with 1/64 scale RC cars, fully licensed, proportional throttle, proportional steering, sticky tires, tiny little bit of suspension too, even a tiny little spring on there, you know. And so the technology is there, the ability to do it is there. I reviewed one recently. It was a Mini Cooper, and it was phenomenal. It's from RTR Hobby. And the thing just worked so well. I was surprised. Yeah, it would be a nightmare to have to assemble. I could never do that, but to have like you say, a little mini lunchbox or something would be super cool. You know, just pulling wheelies and doing silly things.
Must be like a Matchbox car scale, mustn't it, Mark? 1/64th scale. That must be like a Matchbox car.
That's right.
Sorry, I missed a lot of that, guys.
That's all right. We're talking about the 1/24th scale RC10.
Oh, that thing that I had a rant about before we went on air.
You're not getting one of those then, Mark?
I am bloody well not getting one of those. What the hell is all that about, guys? Anyone who buys that's going to be crazy.
They're rather expensive, aren't they? And we were saying to build them and to work on them, you just got to You're going to be very fiddly.
Have you talked about the price and everything and what you don't get?
We did mention it, but I didn't have my crib sheets like
What
you,
did
Mark,
I
so
say?
I didn't know how much they cost.
I can have my rank because I wrote it down somewhere, didn't I? Yeah. So TAA RC10 Model 24, $359, guys, for a 1/24th scale. Yeah, you got rear-wheel drive, alloy chassis, slip clutch, all good. No motor, no ESC, no servo, no battery, no radio. Are you kidding me, guys? Yeah, so that's my rant. I'm glad
Mark's out.
I'm glad I got the chance to say that.
Mark's out. Sorry, Mark. I needed you on that moment because I knew you had your crib sheet. I knew you were gonna bring all those facts to the table, and I didn't have them to hand because I was relying on you.
Sorry,
but it is a lot of money for what it is. But I do respect the fact they're trying to do some different stuff. And I do like the fact that they've gone to all the effort of making those parts, scaling them down, getting them all the right proportion. They must have invested a huge amount of money in doing that, getting the tooling put together for that.
I don't know. I just think if they drop the price down to kind of $250, something like that, they'd sell a lot more and get recoup a lot more of that investment money.
Yeah, but to do that, they probably would have had to have lessened the quality of it. They couldn't have had the aluminium plate. They couldn't have had the slipper clutch. They'd have had to start chopping.
What you mean? They couldn't have the aluminium chassis without the servo, and without the ESC, and without the motor, without the radio. just sell some fresh air in a box. That'll do. We'd know nothing.
It is a crazy price point. Like it's right now there's I see on sale the J Halsey RC10 edition. It seems to come up, and same with there's like the gold one, I think it was. A certain model, certain RC10 Riri's models, full scale, like 10 scales, that didn't sell particularly well, that are kind of hitting the clearance racks now. And to see just a 10 scale for the same price as a 24 scale is come on.
I said that exact thing, Phil. When I looked at it, I paid £210 for my RC10T, which was on clearance, and that was about the right place for me to go and jump in. Now, the thought of this in the UK being at £240, £250 is more expensive than I paid for a full 1/10 scale. Now that doesn't come with electronics either, Mark. There's no motor, there's no servo, but I do get a kit, I do get to build it, and then I can run it in a lot of different places. That 1/24 scale, you're limited to where you're going to take that. We were talking about 1/7 of being limited of where you can run that. You are also limited where you can run a small one as well.
Absolutely.
Because take it over the wrong stones and it's going to be like driving over boulders.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So I don't think any of us are in the market for that one, but I'm glad that we managed to get all of that off our chests. Phil, over to you, buddy. Why don't you get us back on something positive? Let's have a positive one for next one.
Let's get on a positive track. I'm kind of scrolling through the options here again. And how about we go back to Rlaarlo? We're talking small scale. Let's talk about Rlaarlo again and the Rami 64, because that was supposed to be out a long time ago. I remember, I want to say it was like maybe, I don't know, September or so of last year, talking to Rlaarlo about, talking about the release dates of that and
might have been
when we're going to get our samples. Yeah. Like I was supposed to have reviewed that like at least 6 months ago, 7-8 months ago. So not too sure what's happening with it, what the production delay is. But, just talking about small scale RC cars, they're making good cars. And I'm really curious to see what that little fella is going to be all about, especially this year, since they're releasing all these huge scale RCs. It's funny because now you're going to get this, 7 scale Mitsubishi, the 7 scale big old Unimog, and then the 64 scale little guy. I don't know. I think it's kind of a fun little car, and those are great rainy day cars, and I've reviewed a few now that I really enjoy. My wife gets into it, and we set up little tracks in the house, and they can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can't say Rlaarlo aren't going after each end of the spectrum, can you? Really, they're going for everything.
That's right.
Big to small. But like you say, I think when I was reading the kind of early press release stuff about it, Phil, it was supposed to be the pinnacle, wasn't it, of miniature racers? It was supposed to be the most perfect, tiny RC replica that you could get. That's what it was purported to be. I think it was going to be quite expensive as well. think towards the $100 range, I think, which is, expensive for one of those little things. I
didn't realize that. I didn't realize it was going to be that expensive.
Well, I could be wrong. Yeah, I stand to be corrected, but I think it was kind of right aimed at the top end.
The marketing talk about that makes it sound like it's going to be premium, because it talks about them scaling down the technology that's in the full scale RC down into the 1/24th scale.
That's
so
right.
Again, that takes investment. It takes you got to. It's not going to be cheap, is it? If you're going to scale it all down to that to be proportional as well, because it talks about being proportional throttle control, proportional steering control.
Well, most of them are, to be honest with you, Craig. I've got one that's about £30, $40. That's totally proportional with suspension, like Phil was saying.
But would you say it's still proportional in the way the throttle comes up? Because what I always see with those is you pull the trigger and they just seem to go from 0 to whatever it is in no space at all. Whereas they should scale up slightly more, shouldn't they?
Well, I've got one
instant
called a Mixgo, and it is really, really good to drive. Okay. Very, very proportional. I've got to say that they're getting better and better, these micro cars.
They are. Yeah. The few that I've reviewed lately have all been very proportional. I'm talking steering and throttle.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about, Craig. Like back in the day, it was, you could pinch the throttle a millimeter or full pop. It was only one speed. It was go. And same with steering, right? It was all the steering or none of the steering.
Bang bang, we call them. The bang bangs.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, they're getting good.
I see that I bought a 132 scale. It's a really small sort of toy grade RC for one of my nephews for Christmas, and that had proportional throttle, and it was Absima, I think it was. And it was really nice. It was like it was really simple. There was the hard air suspension. It was the sort of thing you'd run around the kitchen, But it was really nice. The electronics there were really nice. So maybe I'm just out of touch. I've not got any 1/64th scale cars, or I've not really dabbled in that end of the market. So I've not really played, other than watching it on people's channels. I've not really seen too much. So, maybe there is a market there, and the technology's come on massively, and Rlaarlo's about to slam in there with the premium one.
Well, we'll see. Watch this space, because I'm supposed to have coming from Banggood licensed Subaru WRC. Ooh. Yeah, 1/48th, I think it is. Supposed to be $20. So hopefully
$20.
I'll let you know if that's any good. It should be coming soon. Watch this space.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. The options that are out there these days.
Yeah,
they're endless. There's so much. Yeah.
So 1/64th scale, Rlaarlo, done. Mark, what's your next pick?
I know. I have to look at my sheet again. I think you should talk about this one more than me.
What's that?
Well, can we move on to motors?
We can.
Are we allowed to do
absolutely.
Motors?
Yeah, we can do motors.
Tamiya Motors.
It's on the list.
This is Talks Tamiya. So again, I've gone through, and Tamiya Motors. There are 4 new motors announced. GT tuned, 25 turn. Lightly tuned, 28 turn. Super stock VZ, 23 turn. And LT torque tuned, 35 turn crawler motor.
Okay.
What do you reckon, guys?
I don't want to. So I don't want to judge a book by its cover, but I'm going to, and I am massively concerned that the quality of these motors will not be as good as the quality of the motors that Tamiya have been previously turning out.
Here.
Because I quite like the when you get out of the I like a torque tune and sport tune motor. They serve their purpose. I think they serve their purpose well. But I quite like it when you go out of there and you go into the with the brushes and you can rebuild them. I think those motors are really, really nice, and they seem to do exactly what they're supposed to do. And I worry that, because I've bought a lot of other, because every year there's this speedrun challenge that goes on. Mark, you might have heard about it. Okay, there's a big YouTuber and he sort of runs this whole thing, and everyone gets on it. And you just cannot get a brushed motor for love nor money when that thing's on, because they all get snapped up by everybody.
Don't I know it?
So I've tried hunting down these crazy motors, and they're not the same turn motor that you would get in another brand. I found not to be as good as the Tamiya ones.
I hoped you were going to say that, Craig, because I've got quite a lot of experience with brush motors for some really strange, unknown reason. that might be to do with Poor Boys RC.
Speedrun challenge.
but I think you probably agree with me, and Phil will too, that what it says on the box or on the spec isn't exactly or isn't always what you find when you run the motor. So I've had 18 turned closed can silver can motors. There has been one that have totally outperformed 15 turn motors that are supposed to be 6,000 or 7,000 RPM higher rated. So what's that all about? I've also had Chinese 12 turn rebuildable motors, so open cans, that have performed worse than that 18 turn silver can Absolute motor. Yeah. So I think a lot of it's got to do with the quality of the build, quality of the can, and most essentially the quality of the magnets. Now, the old Tamiya motors were made in Japan.
Yes.
And I think that's got a lot to do with how well those motors, the RZ, TZ, VZ, perform. These new ones, I believe, are made in China.
Yes, they are.
Now, they're all open can, so they've got open brushes. You can change the brushes. And as an upgrade, they've all got ball bearings, which the old ones didn't. They just had brass bushings. So that's a plus point. And the fact that they're rebuildable, and they've all got adjustable timing, which they're rebuildable. The old Tamiya motors were
rebuildable. He said
rebuildable.
He lost them again. That's 3. You're out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Keep going, Mark. Keep going.
And they're tunable. Like I said, you can adjust the timing, which is new. But again, I'm still, I'm out until I see some results. They're not even publishing any like RPM figures for these motors, which is very strange. No. So I'll be interested to see how people get on with them before I part with my hard-earned cash.
I wish that I'd had done a bit more research before we had this conversation, because there was a YouTube guy, on YouTube who used to do motor comparisons, Tamiya motor comparisons. He used to do other motors as well, but it was mainly Tamiya motor comparisons. And he used to have like a TT02B that would zip across the screen.
I see.
And it would have like all the motors like down the screen. He'd have like, here's a stock, here's a silver can, here's a TT, and they'd all go across the screen and they'd time them and then he'd top speed them as well. And I would really like to see them come back and go, right, here's these new motors, here's the old ones, let's do a proper test. And cool. I'd love to recreate that, but I just don't have the time, the patience, or the place to run like that. But it needs someone to do that type of analysis on it to go, are they genuinely as good as the old models? And then more importantly, are you still able to run them 3 years from now by rebuilding them, new brushes, clean the com and all that sort of stuff, and the motor still stands up? Or in a year's time, are they just done and you're just chucking them out and buying a new motor? I don't know. And I don't want to be judgy, but I kind of feel that they're not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Well, and they look a lot like what's the brand, like Surpass, or it's like a brand that you see on you see it on Amazon, you see it on RC Mart, and it's like you can tell just by the pattern of the holes that are in the can, the kind of the 4 triangles that are in there. It kind of looks like that Surpass. And what's Hackmoto is another brand. I know.
It's just exactly what you're saying, Phil.
It's like they're all coming out of the same factory with a different sticker on it and different powder coated color. And hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
It is a shame. If that's where we end up, it's a shame. But I also think it leaves a gap in the market. It leaves a gap in the market for somebody to come in there and say, actually, I'm going to produce a decent brushed motor, and do it for the hobbyists, because there must be a market for it. People go looking for them, and when the Speedrun challenge rolls around, everyone's looking for that secret motor that they can find that can do it for them.
Well, to Mark's point earlier, like I've got the Tamiya Superstock BZ, that motor with a blue sticker on it. That motor blows me away. They say that's a 23 turn, and that feels like faster and more, torquier than, the 15 turns that I run half the time. It's got and on big tire applications, like I've got one of my Monster Beetle, I've used them in lunchboxes, Blackfoot, so many different trucks. Like you just got gobs of power and good torque. And you guys know I run in sand a lot, and you're kicking sand up and you're wheeling, and it's just power for days. That is the most underrated brushed motor, in my opinion, that Tamiya has made, that I've used anyway. And yeah, pretty sad to see that one is an antique now.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I really hope these new ones,
I don't know whether it is though, because Tamiya haven't announced that they're not going to still do those motors, have they?
True.
They've just said here's some new ones, and I think if they're doing a GT tuned 2, you would expect the GT tuned motor to go, but they haven't actually said that the BZ, the RZ, and the TZ. For those in the UK,
TZ.
the RZ, the BZ, and the TZ.
Yeah.
Yep. Make sure I'm multilingual. You see, I have to be able to do everything. Those motors haven't been phased out, so maybe you can still get those. I don't know. I'm speculating because I don't know for sure, but it would be nice if they were still available.
Absolutely. I just want to back up what Phil says there. Again, my experiences from doing his bloody speed challenges. I remember doing a core 15 turn, an Absima 15 turn, supposedly something like 36,000 RPM motors, stock TTO2. I got 30 mile an hour. When I tried that TZ motor in my Astute, stock gearing, it did 34.
Wow.
And that's supposed to be a 23 turn compared to. So I'm just backing up what Phil says. It's a really interesting field to get into when you look at these motors. You can waste a lot of money, so it is worth looking at a lot of YouTube videos and seeing what results people are getting, because you'll find out a lot.
It'd be fair to say, though, Mark, we've been impressed with the LRP ones.
I was going to mention that. I think that's probably my go-to. That's a good quality, decent priced motor. I think you get what you pay for.
And you get down to a 10-turn double wound on that, can't you?
Yeah, I used that one, but I don't think my ESC was up to it. But that was the fastest I ever got out of my TTO2 on Phil's challenge was 45 mile an hour with that LRP motor and a 1060 ESC. So
yeah, you beat me, didn't you? I seem to remember. Just
by a little bit, yeah. You kept crashing, mate.
Oh well, story of my life.
Not that I didn't.
No, you need to get an M-Tronics ESC. M-Tronics do brushed ESCs that are unlimited, so you can take it as low as you want.
But I've got a Castle one now from Uncle Bob, haven't I? Uncle Bob's RC sent me that.
He looked after you, didn't he?
Crazy Castle Creations thing. So I should be using that this year. So watch out, mate.
Well, and I'm going for you, mate. I'm going for you.
Gloves are off.
Reedy makes a good brush motor right now as well. The Reedy Radon,
yes.
Radon. Those seem to be not talked about a whole lot, but I got a few friends out here on the island that use those motors, swear by them, and they're not very expensive, from what I understand, and they put out some good numbers as well.
Yeah.
Don't normally see those over here, do we, Mark?
No,
the Reedy ones.
No, I've heard Adam's Playground talks a lot about those. He rates those for all sorts of applications because they do lots of different turns, don't they? All the way from
they do.
28 turns right the way down to, I think, is it 12, something like 12 or 13 turn. So there's a good range of them as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about them.
Well, watch this space. Let's see if someone finds out something new for the Speedrun Challenge this year, and maybe there'll be a new player in the market. If there's a company out there that's listening to this and wants to send Mark and I some motors for the Speedrun Challenge,
we'll test them out for you.
That no one else has got, I'd be well up for that. Well up for it.
Great advertising, I'll tell you. There's going to be a lot of eyes on it this year.
Yeah,
this is year 5. It's going to be a banger year.
How many contestants was it last year, Phil?
131.
Wow, that's
12 countries. 12 countries that people told me about. I think there were more, but I don't know. I asked everybody, hey, let me know what country you're from. And not everybody responds to that, right? Not everyone watches everything, every second of every video. You guys know that more than anybody. You're lucky to get 25% retention sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of that gets missed. But from, the numbers of 131 contestants, 12 countries that I was able to calculate last year. So, and you got to think about the views on that, right? You're starting to push into the hundreds of thousands of views, which is
if you add everyone's views together,
that's right.
It's got to be horrendously. It's got to be.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, like Craig's channel is different than mine. Mine's different than Mark's. Mark's is different than Craig. You know what I mean? And so we have a lot of overlapping viewers, but then we have a lot of unique viewers that are unique, that are more sort of you know, I've got the poor boys guys that want to watch me with, you know, flashy lights and fart jokes. And, you know, Craig just knows a lot about everything and, you know, the faceless man kind of a thing. And, you know, and Mark's got him and Rob. Freaking hilarious. I love those two. You know,
yeah. And Barbara's Beaver. Barbara's Beaver.
Don't forget Barbara.
So we've each got our own, you know, what would you call, like, micro audience, maybe you'd say. There's the overlappers and there's the people that kind of are particular to our own shows. So you think with all these 131 contestants, not everyone's a YouTuber, mind you, but you know, last year we had some big YouTubers in contributing, including Tom Lee, who's arguably like the largest that does what we do. So yeah, a lot of eyes, a lot of people. So if any motor manufacturers are listening, Craig and Mark need some brushed motors. Send them over.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, there is one thing. Go on, you first.
I might go brushless this year.
Well, like I say, that Castle Creation thing I got is brushed and brushless, and he sent me, I can't remember what the motor is now, but it's some stupidly low turn brushless motor.
Oh, maybe I won't then.
So
maybe I'll stay brushed.
I just might. I was going to say something, but it's just gone now. You just took the train of my thought, it's gone out of my head.
It's the beer.
Oh,
it's the beer that's done that.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. It was, if you're a big YouTube channel and you're coming in on this, you've got to be brave, haven't you, Phil? Because I know I'm not very big, but I know some people, one with the initials AH, who was after my blood. You know what I mean? So if you're someone like Tom coming in, you've got like 300k subs, people are going to want to beat you. So you've got to have big balls to come into this if you've got big numbers on your channel.
Yeah. And he's fast too. Phil's fast. Tommy's fast. Yeah. And I didn't know what to expect. But like if you look at that
down a real marker. Sorry.
Yeah. And he's driving on a very narrow pathway too, which I found.
Oh God, he does that, yeah.
I don't know how he does it because like I can be on like a runway and still crash, and you know, and he's on like a footpath and he's keeping this thing straight doing 75 miles an hour, and I'm thinking, how the heck are you doing that?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's been doing it for a lot of years. I talked to him in depth about it, and he's been speedrunning RCs for a long time. So, people are there's going to be targets on people's backs this year, I think.
Yeah, the more the merrier, though. The more the merrier.
Absolutely. Let's get it to 200 for year 5. Let's get it to 200.
What, 200 miles an hour? you never know.
I think we might this year. I think.
Oh my God! Someone might. Yeah, someone might do it.
Someone might.
What's it? Is it Bryce? Is it? Yeah, he got 100.
It'll be Bryce.
100, always over 100 mile an hour anyway.
Yeah. Cruising the streets of California.
I just want to see the other Andy Hall doing, what was it, 70 mile an hour on a 380
motor. Yeah,
awesome. Guy's a beast.
Yeah. All good stuff. All good stuff. We'll be talking about that, I'm sure, for every podcast as we get into the summer months. Everyone will be talking about that. I can't wait for it. Cannot wait. Right, one more to talk about. I'm going to pick the FTX Apache 2.0 brushless trophy truck because I am obsessed at the minute with trophy trucks and stadium trucks and the like. Getting that RC10T has opened up a world to me of all these awesome stadium trucks, and I love them. I just think they look brilliant. They look great when they're driving around, and that one caught my eye. It's reasonably priced. I want to say it's about 200 quid, something like that, 250 quid.
It's the only one I didn't do any research on.
I'm
sorry.
It's
I'm clicking the link right now, and it just takes me to Bing.
Yeah, I messed up.
That's why I didn't research it. Bing.
I messed up, guys.
Oh, I tried.
Just Bing.
Craig.
I messed up. Sometimes I did all the prep for these guys. I got all the lists. I gave them all the links. And you'd have thought the one link that I didn't put on there, they might have gone and researched. 299 pounds they are, so 300 quid. That's the recommended retail price. I'm sure they'll be around about the 250. But it looks really, really nice. It's brushless, 99% ready to run. Comes with e-tronics radio. It's got a 250, 2,500 kV brushless motor. Hobbywing 50 amp brushless speed controller with XT60 connectors, fully waterproof, 6K servo, comes with a LiPo battery. It is fully loaded, ready to go. Oil shocks, the lot.
Great spec.
And it looks really, really nice.
Great spec.
I am a little bit obsessed with these things at the minute. So I got myself a FTX Zorro that turned up today. and I got that for £100 ready to run.
Wow.
It didn't have a battery. That's why it was £100. But this thing's supposed to be 1/10. It's huge. It's massive. And it looks so good. Probably the best looking RC I've bought in ages. And I'm just obsessed with stadium trucks.
You kept that to yourself, Craig. You didn't tell me about it.
Oh, sorry, mate.
I'm jealous now.
Time Tunnel. Go on Time Tunnel.
Oh, man. That's a bargain. 100 quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Absolute brilliant. Yeah. Go on Time Tunnel. He's got 10% off for spring, which is it actually finishes at the end of this week. And it was down to £100. And that was delivered.
Well, I won't be getting that because I'll be getting my Moxley out, my Hosim, and I'll give you a race.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the Apache right now, and it looks a lot like the Hosim M23.
You got the bigger one, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, the Mazek M23. Yeah,
Mazek. Yeah.
There's some similarities, isn't there?
Yeah.
Looks very. It is very different. The chassis layout is very different, and so they're definitely not coming from the same factory or anything like that. They're very different. But with the body on, just kind of the way it looks similar body on, but body off, they're completely different from one another. Looks cool, though.
It's a short course truck, I suppose, isn't it?
So I'm obsessed at the minute with them. Anytime I see a short course truck come out, I'm like, ooh, need to spend some money. In fact, Dave,
that's the face of an obsessed man.
Yeah, it really is. This morning, Team Associated announced they've got another short course truck coming out, which I also like to look up.
Is that just another repackaged?
Yeah, maybe, but I like the look of it. They've got a white one and a black one, and they look really nice.
I heard. I don't know. I didn't look into it. I've kind of lost interest, but from what I heard, it's just another repackaged something else from the past with a big markup and maybe a gold chassis on it.
Oh,
who knows? But
no, there was no gold chassis thankfully on this one. It was just a regular black one. No.
Is it orange?
$99. Thing is, they've got me now. They got the hooks in me, and I'm thinking, ooh, I quite like some of this stuff. Yeah, I didn't get that 4x4 in the end, though. You guys talked me out of that. Yeah, my moment of madness was gone.
Thank God for that.
What were you thinking?
Too many beers.
Drink more beer.
Furnished last time by Gorgo, and this time Mads has furnished with our beers. We give Mads a little shout out now.
Mads, you're the best. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, Mads. Thank you, buddy.
Cheers, dude. Got the glass.
And he nicely teed us up with our discussion question for today, which is, do you love RC? Yes or no?
Can't stand it.
Love RC.
I hate it. Yeah. What are we doing here, guys? With this stupid hobby that's costing us a fortune, taking up all our time. Of course, we bloody love it.
Well, there's bits I don't like, though, Mark. There are things I don't like about it.
Oh, what like you don't like about women, for example?
Well, I don't like turnbuckles.
Oh, yeah, that fits to it.
So you haven't built that many Associateds yet, then, because their turnbuckles. That, the ball cup ends, whatever that material is, I'll tell you, that'll chew through your fingers like nothing else. That material they use, great for racing because it's a nice tight fit in the ball. But I'll tell you, when you're trying to thread that thing on there, geez Louise, dude. Not happening.
Are we talking about women or turnbuckles again? No.
The nice tight fit in the ball just got me, and I don't know where to go.
You spat his beer out then.
I've got to be really careful that we don't.
Buddy, it's all going to hell now.
Doesn't descend into chaos. Yeah, no, I've got a little tool. I'm gone.
We're going to get banned now. What are you talking
Cheers,
about, guys?
Mads.
Oh, my
Cheers
God.
for the beers,
Mads. What you
Great,
like?
Cheers, buddy.
This Brewdog stuff is blooming strong in it. Yeah, he's got a little tool, apparently. But it works a treat on a turnbuckle, which is what he means.
Like that. Go round and round, and it's a bit of cow RC udder butter on it as well. I found that as a real help.
Even that sounds rude.
That's a good idea. That's what I should be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate
to say something else, but I decided to stop.
XVO1s, they killed my fingers. They did. I literally got shredded fingers after doing XVO1 turnbuckles, and then somebody told me you can use, the box spanners. Apparently they do fit over, and it's correct. But that was after I'd finished the 20 turnbuckles on that bloody.
You learn something every day.
Yeah, exactly. But that's another great thing is people in this hobby, they will give you tips and stuff. In the comments.
Well, talking about tips, Bill, did you get the Schumacher Cat 2000 in the end?
I did not. It is so bloody expensive, guys. Like I can't, like, it's going to be $700 by the time I get it here. Like it's, yeah, and so I went down the rabbit hole searching for Schumacher alternatives on eBay, and I don't know all the, all the different models. I came very close to owning some Schumachers in the last couple of weeks, but I got outbid last minute. But yeah, I really want that Cat 2000. But by the time I do the math on everything, I am just under $700 Canadian, and that doesn't come with an ESC motor, servo, or anything, right? So I'm going to be $850. Man, it's so much money, guys. I just yeah. So I'll find another one. I want to own one. Like, they've caught my eye now, and I just kind of have that bug, and I really want one, but not that much for a 2-wheel drive buggy. I just can't. Like, my cheap, poor Croatian blood can't take that.
What I was going to say is, if you get one of those, there's elements of that build of a Schumacher that just wrecks your fingers, it wrecks your head. Like trying to get the way the drive shafts work is they're like telescopic, and the way you have to put like these cross heads on them, and they're just so hard to get them in. And I think we talked about
somebody made a comment to me about that. They said, you boil them, you boil them. I'm like, okay, haha, funny. That's funny.
Yeah, right.
It's like, no, seriously, it's in the manual. And I Google it. Yeah, it's in the manual. Boil it to soften the plastic. I'm like, what the heck are they doing over there?
Yeah. So there are some things that I don't like about the hobby, these sort of quirky bits like that. But when you get a build that just starts going together and it's just nice and breezy, and it's just, it's so good, so satisfying.
I'm trying to think of what else I don't like. I don't really know. No, it's all pretty good. I don't like painting in the winter. That's a pain in the arse.
Don't talk to me about painting.
Yeah. You've not had much luck with painting recently, have you?
I've still got
lots of
PTSD.
Runs.
Yeah, it's bad.
Greg's got the runs.
So what do we reckon then, guys? Do you reckon pre-painted bodies, are they a good thing, or do you think we should have to paint the clear bodies? What do you reckon?
You got to have a balance. It's nice. Sometimes it is nice to open a box and be like, haha, it's done. That's great. But there's also that, that level of involvement, of cutting everything out. And I'll tell you though, I hate cutting out stickers, like decal stickers, decals, whatever the heck you want to call them.
I think we had this discussion, didn't we? Yeah,
I hate it. I
don't mind.
To me, I'd rather I'd rather pay someone to sit there, especially a CC01 or CC02, all the black window surrounds, and it's not one piece. It's like, the curved top, the curved bottom, the two straight. I mean, it's 2 days of trimming, boys. Like, who's got, like, who's? I don't know. I got things to do. I can't.
I just want to drive it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's my least favorite.
I do like a pre-painted body, but we the Club 380's they've introduced a 4-wheel drive class for this summer, and they've allowed it to be hot shots. The hot shots chassis are all there, and then the Dragon chassis, and you put a 540 silver can in, and it's all standard, no modifications, just standard. So the only Dragon you could get that left in the UK market was pretty much the Fire Dragon, because no one wanted it originally, and they all come with pre-painted red bodies. So we're going to rock up at the first event, and everyone's going to have a red Fire Dragon with a different number on the side of it. So I've got this body, and I'm looking at it, and I think it was Shen RC had a Vanquish, and he scored out bits of the inside, and then sprayed it and hit it with different colors on the inside, and it looked radical because he'd created all these patterns. So I've got this idea of doing the same. So I'm going to score off bits of the inside, and then layer it up with like fire on the inside, so the flames are going to come down the side.
Like it.
Cool.
Yeah,
I put it into Chat GPT, and that's what it told me to do. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a go.
That's a funny one, because that body almost has to be red, doesn't it? Like Fire Dragon. It just looks so good. Red, like it's, you're not going to paint it silver. It would look silly. So, yeah, interesting. No, they are nice for the one occasion having a painted body, but yeah.
Certainly for the winter.
Speaking of what we love about it, what's that?
In the winter, you just want to build something, and you just stick the body on at the end.
Yeah,
done.
Yeah,
you're going to say, Phil? Sorry, go
on. Well, what we love about it, and I think, there's a million answers to that question. One, one thing I think that I would like to say is that the longevity of the hobby. I'm 47 years old, and I think I got my first RC car when I was about 8. So, I'm pushing 40 years of RC. And since I was 8, I've freaking loved this hobby. I love RC cars. And back then I had, you put 6 AA batteries in the bottom of it and you drive it and it's not very fast. And they didn't have proportional steering. In fact, a lot of them wouldn't even steer until it was going straight and then the steering would activate. It was like throttle first, then steer kind of nonsense, But to think that, you go from that to developing increasing your driving skill and then getting better cars and bigger, faster, you know what I mean? And just 40 years later, man, and now doing it for a living, like there's something about that, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's a really great hobby that you can enjoy and you can do it when you feel like doing it. And, I'm fortunate to have a room in my house where I can just dedicate to it. And when I'm stressed out or having a shitty day or whatever, just come here and just work away a little bit and, woosah a little bit. This is my yoga up here, man. Like, chill out, crack a beer, put on some tunes and wrench away and let the stress melt away.
That's a good point. I think it's one of the few things in my life that I have seldomly got bored with or fed up with. It's just always the same. And not many things you can say that about. So it must be something to the hobby, definitely. Yeah, an escape. I think
that's a really good point. But that's a lot of hobbies do that. But I think this one is slightly more special. I think it's because for some of us that were into it when we were younger, it's a hark back and we reminisce about the different stage of our life and the fun that we had with it. But also for me, it's so instantly accessible for young children to get into as well, because they take one look at it and it is a replica of a big car that they can drive about, play around with. And I love seeing that when my nephews come around and we take the cars out and we play around with them on the tarmac at the front of the house. They just light up, and seeing that connectivity away from a screen or away from a device or whatever it might be into something that's real and they can touch and they can spin the wheels on it and they can see what it does is just fantastic. That's what this is all about for me. And just inspiring that next generation to experience what we did 40 years ago, because I think that it's dying. This sort of hobby doesn't exist anymore in the same way that it used to, but I think it's coming back. I think that I see more popularity in it than ever before.
I hope so. Yeah. It's funny when you open the show. Sorry, Phil.
No, go on.
I was just going to say that when you opened the show, you mentioned the fact that Glenn from Riviera RC has come all the way up to be on holiday from the South Coast to the Midlands, which is a couple of 100 miles, isn't it? And he took the time to call me up and basically arranged to come and see me. So he visited my house today, came and met me and Louise, my wife, and this is something that I wanted to say really, that it's happened before with Craig, it's happened with Dom, it's happened obviously with a lot of other people, but he came in the house and instantly he felt like an old friend. And I don't want to overstress this or make it sound, I don't know, but it genuinely is. We seem to be very similar kind of people. We've got that kind of similar pull that the hobby draws us in, and we relate in so many ways on top of that it's uncanny. I think I might be overstressing this, but I've found everybody I've met that is properly into the RC hobby, I have genuinely really got on with. Like I say, on lots of levels, and it is fantastic. Long may it continue. So we had a lovely, God knows how many hours chatting. We were just talking over each other like we tend to do, because we're so excited and want to like inform each other and share experiences. And he finally got dragged away because his wife was waiting for him. I think I got him in trouble, so I'm sorry about that, Glenn. But absolutely wonderful to meet a kindred spirit.
Brilliant.
And like I say, it's happened lots and lots of times. So yeah, that's something else about the hobby that is kind of life changing, really.
Yeah, need to get you up to the Club 380 mark this year, and then you can meet other people like that.
I don't think I should, because I'd never want to leave. He'd never get me away from there. I'd be too busy yakking to everybody. Oh, have I just told you this? Have I just told you that? Oh, I can't shut up, can I? Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Phil's
so,
turn,
Mads, Cheers for the beers.
Oh my gosh, Mads,
Thanks for your question. You see that
total
simple
legend.
question: do you love RC? And we spoke for 15 minutes about yes, we do. I love RC, and thanks a lot for that, Mads.
I'd love to meet Mads as well one day. That'd be great. I'd love to share a beer with you, Mads. Cheers, dude.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
I think he's a bit of a metalhead too, which is that's something.
We all love a bit of metal.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have the hair anymore, but I'll tell you, back in the day, it was pretty headbangy. Phil was a pretty headbangy lad. So still am, just no hair to show it off. But yeah,
I had a perm. I was saying no more.
Nice.
So we're wrapping up to the end of the podcast where we talk about what's going on our channels at the moment. So Mark, why don't you kick us off? What's going on at Mark?
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet again. I've been doing a bit of work on a new crawler. I've spent quite a few hours making a video, and the manufacturers asked me to hold off on that, which I'm really annoyed about because I was going to release it tomorrow after all that work, but they've got no stock, so I've had to put that on the shelf. So I'm going to make another TTO2 video.
I know who the manufacturer is. I can just tell who it is too. I'm not going to say.
Can't talk about that. So yeah, I'm going back to. I thought, well, here's my opportunity. Forced me. I want to get some more content out because I've been really quiet and my views have gone down the pan because YouTube doesn't like it if you don't constantly upload. Anyway, so yeah, back to TTO2. So tomorrow I'm going to try and get the video out. I've done the intro today very badly. Took me about 20 takes, and the video is titled "Do Not Buy a Tamiya TTO2."
Ooh, spicy.
I thought people love clickbait. I know, but
the
I'm going to get
TTO2 whisper said, "Don't buy a T." Okay,
yeah,
I'm watching
see right what now. I mean? See what I mean?
Send me the link.
See, I've got you. I've hooked you already with that shitty title.
Those comments are going to be spicy, man. I'm
going to get a lot of thumbs down. I know it, Phil. Phil, it's coming. I'm going to be.
I'm going to crap all over that episode.
But so that's what I'm doing anyway. TTO2s are back on my channel.
There you go. TTO2s are back again.
Or not.
Phil, what's going on at Poor Boys?
Yes, sir. You know what? I've been kind of quiet too, actually, lately. I just you guys know, as content creators, it's tough sometimes to sit in a room by yourself and feel the energy, you know, and I'm a high energy kind of a cat most of the time. So I don't know, lately, I don't know what it's been. Maybe the weather, sick of the rain, and who knows. But so I've been kind of quiet lately, but I have acquired 2 vintage stadium trucks from the 90s. I've got eyes for stadium trucks, just like Craig. And I've got a couple. I'm not going to tell you what they are because they're coming up soon. One is extremely rare, and I bet 95% of the people listening and watching won't even know that it ever even existed.
Wow, well, that's my first idea out the window then. That's my guess gone.
Yeah, I bet you have no idea it even ever existed. So
wow.
Yeah, it's a rare bird. I don't know how I ended up getting it. It showed up last night, and it was released in '93, I think, and it is in mint condition.
Wow.
Never been driven. Yeah.
No, I'm watching that. I'm watching that one.
All smiles. Yeah. People are going to see the thumbnail and be like, "What the hell is that?" I don't even care, and just walk right by it. I'll get like no views, but I'm stoked for it.
Well, you'll get 2 views anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. What is this old garbage? This guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Wow.
Yeah, stoked. Yeah, stadium trucks, man. They've got my eye right now. Yeah, 2-wheel drive.
Interesting.
Ribbed front tires. Let's go.
Let's do it.
It's obviously not a Falcon chassis then, because I would have heard of it. So yeah, you've piqued my interest.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Go on then, Craig.
Cool. I was talking to Nathaniel from MCI to see if he can whip up some decals for me because you can't get them anywhere. And he's a little ninja. So we had a good convo today. Think it might happen. Sorry, cut you off, buddy.
No, it's okay. It's good. I love stadium trucks as well. So that is pretty much what's going on over here. So I have been building my Chevy S10 TAO102 chassis. which has been nice.
What a beauty.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I've sourced all my parts for my XVO1T, so that's ready to build as well.
Yay.
My tools have turned up for my RC10T as well, so I've got a lot of stadium trucks to build.
What, your tiny tools?
Yeah, it's tiny tools.
Adjustable ball.
I'm not going to let you forget that now.
No, that was just perfect timing. Perfect timing. As if we scripted it, eh?
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of building going on at the minute, but I've got to start working on the track, which I'm not looking forward to doing it, if I'm honest. But I've got grand plans, but I've got to do the rest of the gardening first before I get to the grand plans. So
a bit wet in it, Craig, for that.
it is. It has been a bit wet. Yeah. But I want to extend the track.
Oh, no, that'd be good. You could do with an extension, I've heard.
And I want to go further up the garden. So that is the plan. And we'll see whether I can make it work or not.
I think you should. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's really interesting laps that you do on the trials, but I think just adding a couple of seconds to the lap will add that little bit more to it, I think.
Just being able to open the cars a little bit more as well.
I think that's a great idea, yeah.
Yeah, because I've been driving, I'd go and do those Club 380 meets, and just having that extra bit of space on the track and the way you drive then is just all... Yeah, it all changes a little bit. So I will see what I can. We'll see what magic I can do in a very small space still. But yeah, lots going on as always. Lots going on. Yeah,
nice.
So there you go. We've done just over an hour as always. I hope everyone appreciates that we don't waffle on too long and leave you all wanting more. I hope. We've had some really good responses recently around the podcast. We always want feedback. Leave a comment, send us an email, whatever you want to do. If there's things that you'd like to hear us talk about, please drop us a line, let us know. There are some Talks Tamiya merch available over at my channel, the OAGRC. T-shirts, hoodies, and caps are available. If you want to support Talks Tamiya and spread the word, there's no better way to do it than wearing your own Talks Tamiya T-shirt.
Very nice.
I was going to wear one today, Phil, but I couldn't. It didn't turn up in time, so I had to just go with a vintage Poor Boys.
Get that from the Goodwill there locally, or recycled goods.
This is good. This is good vintage Poor Boys. Yeah. So yeah, check it out and let us know if there's anything more we can do. But we are signing out. Phil, thank you very much for your time and joining us on the podcast again.
Thanks for having me, sir. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Love y'all.
Mark, same to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. And like I say, thank you all for leaving the comments down. Leave another comment today if you can. That'd be great. We always love to read them. And yeah, thanks for having me. And goodbye.
And thanks to Mads for the beers.
Absolutely. Cheers, Mads.
You're the man, Mads.
See you, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye now.
Bye now.